back to the show. You're listening to AIM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, as we're moving right along with our show here for this Thursday. And as doing so, up next, I've got a special guest in here as Joan Cheboswony. I said it wrong there already. Cheboswony, as we have her on, as the author and publisher of the new publishing company that brings rich stories of Africa to young and the young at heart. Here to talk a little bit about the new company and the World Unknown Publishers that features these young adult novels for book lovers who enjoy adventure and fiction. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, and I know I got the name wrong there, and I was practicing it before we went live. If you want to just tell the listeners and make sure they get it right.
Oh, yes. My name is Joan Cheboswony, and I am a native of Kenya, but I reside in Phoenix, Arizona. So we have World Unknown Publishers, which is a self-publishing firm based in Phoenix, Arizona. And we are dedicated to publishing stories about Africa, and we tell about the people of Africa, their culture, and expansive natural beauty. There are many people who have other perspectives about Africa, so we want to bring the real African stories from the native Africans.
Gotcha.
Now I discuss, yes.
Yeah, I was just going to say, with the mention as an immigrant, as it was mentioned that you were exposed to many different cultures through the books and everything else, I was going to ask you where your motivation was and where the foundation come to bring this to fruition.
Great question. I actually have 3 daughters. One of them was born here, and 2 of them came from Africa. And I discovered that many young people would love to know the encounters of their fellow youths' unique experiences that's unknown to them, like asking, how does Africa look like? Do people live in trees and all that? So I was motivated to just bring those stories by partnering with authors from Africa to develop and publish high-quality fiction books for young adults and connect so that they can connect with them through their own experiences.
Absolutely, absolutely. And to the mention of it with your authors there, that they bring characters that are vivid and real to bring that perspective of those cultures. And it mentions that readers will lose themselves in the pages of these books as they will barely notice how long it took to get to the last page of each one. So that must mean these books are very interesting and very riveting with that type of perception or insight.
Absolutely. As you know, my worldview, for example, was shaped by experiences starting from a very small village in Baringa district, where I was born. And then I moved through small towns to the big city in Kenya before I came here in America. And so my worldview was shaped by what I saw. I only knew about other countries through the books that I read. So I think it is so fascinating to just live through a character that gives you a new perspective of an experience that you have not experienced.
Mm-hmm.
And yes.
Now, with that I was going to say, with that in mind, where can the listeners go to find out more information about the books that are offered, even some of the trailers about World's Unknown Publishers?
So they can go to our website, which is www.wupubs, which is wupubs.com. And it has a lot of information about the books. It has trailers. It has a lot of information about the authors. the readers can also explore information about the story, the location, and also get to know some scene locations on the wall map within the website.
Excellent.
And they can also get the books in online stores like Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Walmart.com, Target.com, and other ebook retailers.
All right. Well, excellent. We thank you very much, as we're out of time here. Joan Cheboswony, as we thank you very much for the time, and you guys have a good rest of the week.
Thank you.
You got it.
Bye.
WOCA Ocala.
Vote instantly for Trump or Biden. Just text the word virus to 39747 and vote. Make sure your voice is heard. Text virus to 39747 and watch Newsmax TV on all major cable systems. Check your guide. Plus Zumo, YouTube, Pluto, Samsung, and more. So vote now for Trump or Biden. Text virus to 39747.
This is an important message for all current and former Boy Scouts.
The Boy Scouts of America has declared bankruptcy.
If you were sexually abused in scouting, you could receive compensation, but you must file a claim by November 16, 2020.
You may file a sexual abuse claim regardless of your current age or the year the sexual abuse occurred.
Visit officialbsaclaims.com or call 1-866-907-2721.
Paid for by the Boy Scouts of America.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
Great fall buys arriving every day at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. So if you've not been there lately, now's the time to head on over for some great deals on just what you want for the upcoming fall season. First up, it's veggies. Bob always has a great selection. Everything from arugula to zucchini. All the fall veggies in the jumbo 4-pack, just $3.99. And listen, ghost peppers just $6.99. And Bob has all the herbs you ever wanted, a huge selection, priced as low as $1.99. And then there's fruit plants and fruit trees. Papaya, just $9.99. Blueberry, only $5.99. Figs, just $29.99. Come see and save on the gigantic fruit selection at Bob Wines. And remember, every day you buy one tree at Bob's super low price, and you get a second one for half price. It's another big saving week at Bob Wines Camellia Garden, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, in the same blooming place since 1952.
We'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine today with a high of 88 to 90, then partly cloudy tonight, low 73 to 77. Friday will be mostly cloudy and humid with a thunderstorm in the afternoon. High tomorrow 87 to 90, then Saturday mostly cloudy and humid with a thunderstorm in parts of the area and a high of 87 to 91. Partly cloudy Sunday with a thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 87 to 91. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
The Centers and Marion County's Children's Alliance are holding a drive through Recovery Resource event at the Centers on September 26th from 10 to 1. Get recovery in a bag for Recovery Month. Need to get in shape? Listen on Friday the 25th at 9:05 a.m. when Joyce Nieves, owner of 12 Rounds Boxing Gym, will be Adam's guest. You'll hear how to change yourself and get into the best shape of your life. 12 Rounds Boxing is located at 20 West Silver Springs Boulevard in Ocala and open 10 to 10 all week. You are invited to come out and check out 12 Rounds Boxing. Listen, if you ain't right, they'll get you right. Again, that's Friday the 25th at 9:05 on WOCA, The Source.
WOCA.
September 25th at 8:35 a.m. Adam's guest will be Leanne Watts, Doctor of Audiology with Beneficial Hearing. Dr. Watts will explain the latest in hearing audiology and the options that are available. She takes the time to understand your lifestyle so she can give you the proper recommendation. So be sure to tune in on Friday, September 25th at 8:35 a.m. It's hearing news from Beneficial Hearing, Dr. Watts, and your friends at WOCA The Source.
High school football is back on WOCA The Source. This season we will be following the Westport Wolfpack as they take on the rest of Marion County. Our first game of the season is this Friday night as the Wolfpack travel to Bellevue to take on the Rattlers. Pre-game starts at 6:30 and kickoff is at 7. So join me, Galen Unold, as we follow all the action right here on WOCA The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, and on YouTube at WOCA The Source Radio.
You're getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros. Trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
2 Men in a Truck.
On September 29th at 10:30 a.m., I will have guests from the College of Central Florida telling our listeners that the College of Central Florida is offering scholarships for short-term, in-demand programs intended to address the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. You may qualify to attend with no tuition costs. Again, that's the 29th at 10:30 a.m. Education news from the College of Central Florida and your friends at WOCA The Source.
I'm back. That's right, Tom Schmidt's back on WOCA with a show called Ocala Talks. We'll talk about everything Ocala and surrounding areas, plus a little bit of sports as well. Every weekday, Monday through Thursday, 11 to 12, Tom Schmidt's with Ocala Talks, right here on WOCA 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Check out Tom starting October 1st. That's Thursday.
When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
WOCA.
Roadrunners details your vehicle. He comes to you. 704-728-7537. 704-728-7537. A job done right. 704-728-7537.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
This message explains the reason that Latin Americans are conservative Republicans and Trump supporters. It is narrated by Jerry W. Torres, Master Sergeant, U.S. Army retired, volunteer for veterans causes, and former president of a U.S. company with over 18,000 employees.
Patriotism.
As a retired Master Sergeant with the United States Army Special Forces, the Green Berets, I know firsthand the commitment and contribution of Latin American troops that serve in the United States Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard, both in the United States and during combat and counterterrorism and counter-drug operations around the world. They have been my brothers and sisters during very challenging times in high-threat and austere conditions when success was the only option. The great majority of Latin Americans are steadfast patriots of our United States, and we are among the largest groups by percentage of population to volunteer for armed forces service and duty in the United States Army, United States Air Force, United States Navy, and United States Marine Corps, including the Green Berets, the SEALs, the Rangers, Delta Force, and United States Air Force Special Operations pilots. We serve at all ranks in the armed forces, from private airmen and seamen to general and admiral. Although we believe first and foremost in peace, Latin Americans volunteered for and served and valiantly fought in World War II and the Korean, Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan wars. Today, Latin Americans serve in counterterrorism and counter-drug operations throughout Latin America and around the world. Numerous Latin Americans have died fighting in battles against our enemies, and many more have received the highest decorations while serving in combat, including the Medal of Honor, the Purple Heart, the Navy Cross, the Silver Star, the Bronze Star, and many, many, many more additional distinctions. Our patriotism emanates from our conservative values and our belief in a strong and free nation safe from all threats to our liberty. Many Latin American families understand what it means to lose liberties because of government corruption, weak armed forces, and ineffective law enforcement. Hundreds of thousands of families have fled Central and South American countries just within the past 2 decades to escape oppressive military regimes that brought corruption and severe economic hardship, robbed peoples of their civil liberties, and tortured and killed their own citizens. These families know firsthand the suffering caused when weak militaries and law enforcement succumb to radical and anarchic internal and external influences. The conservative Republican Party is steadfast in keeping our armed forces prepared for all threats, both domestic and foreign. And the men and women of the Latin American community who serve our nation are crucial to our nation's strength around the world. Please support our troops serving in the United States and those deployed around the world by voting for conservative Republican candidates to make certain our troops know in their hearts that we have their backs.
La Voz de la Confianza, paid for by Jerry Torres. For more information, visit jwtorres.us.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new truck.
Yep, we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too.
Well, as a matter of fact, join me, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive, every Tuesday at 10 for auto repair with personal care right here on The Source.
On the first and third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you.
Need help at home? On Wednesday, September 30th at 8:50 a.m., Jim Haskins with Touching Hearts at Home will be my guest. You will learn how the Compassionate Care team will help with personal care, Alzheimer's dementia care, housekeeping, meal prep, and transportation. Of course, Touching Hearts at Home follows all the CDC and state guidelines for COVID-19. Again, that's Wednesday the 30th at 8:50 a.m. It's information you can use from Touching Hearts at Home and your friends at WOCA, The Source.
WOCA.
When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
We'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine today with a high of 88 to 90, then partly cloudy tonight, low 73 to 77. Friday will be mostly cloudy and humid with a thunderstorm in the afternoon. High tomorrow 87 to 90, then Saturday mostly cloudy and humid with a thunderstorm in parts of the area and a high of 87 to 91. Partly cloudy Sunday with a thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 87 to 91. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
Oh, hey, Grandpa. Oh, hey, Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa.
Yes, buddy?
Can you take me fishing this weekend?
I'd love to.
Have you noticed a change in your hearing over the years? Missing the little things in life? Visit Beneficial Hearing in Ocala today. Their expert team of audiologists will make sure you never miss a moment. Call Beneficial Hearing today at 352-629-4418 or visit them online, beneficialhearing.com.
The Centers recognizes September as Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. If you need someone to talk to, please call us at 352-291-5555.
WOCA. Ocala.
back to the show. You're listening to AM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. I'm your host, Adam Mickulin, as we say good morning. Beautiful morning as it is, 74 degrees out there now with some mild sunshine breaking through those high cirrus clouds and just a little bit of breeze blowing. It don't get much better than that. Right now, absolutely beautiful outside, and hopefully taking advantage of that, working in the yard, or if you're working, if you got a window seat in the office, at least you got maybe the window cracked and a little fresh air in, or something to the idea of, or at least you get to look out the window nonetheless, as I do here. As moving right along with our show this Thursday, as it's been doing pretty good so far. September 24th, can you believe it? As we're making our way towards the end of the work week here. Downhill from here Thursday and then tomorrow with Friday's show. As then we get into next week with just a few days left for the month of September as we look at October 1st, then next Thursday, a week from today. Hard to believe, but moving right along now in this craziness of 2020. As we do continue on here with our show in this beautiful day out there, we're bringing you more good programming here as we keep you just a little bit informed, with a little bit entertained. And with that segment coming up next, which is On This Day in History, we get you to do a little bit of both. So it is now time for...
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for another episode of This Day in History with your historically correct host, Sir Adam Mickulin.
Yes. If we take a look back at what's happened on this day in history, September 24th, we're going to go back to 1908 as we look at 1908, move our way through, all the way through 2000, the year 2000 nonetheless. It was on this date in history back in 1908 as we look towards Ford Motor Company, as the Ford Model T, the first factory-built Ford Model T, was completed, which became affectionately known as the Tin Lizzie. As when seeing some of the History Channel stuff, the Ford Model T was its own little SUV. As if you think back then, there wasn't very many roads, but this thing was capable and affordable, and it's what got the Americans moving and grooving with the idea of the automobile, going back to 08 with the Ford Model T, as it was on this day in history as an automobile produced by the Ford Motor Company, as it's generally regarded as the first affordable, like we said, automobile, which made car travel available to middle-class Americans. The relatively low price was partly the result of Ford's efficient fabrication, including the assembly line production instead of individual handcrafting. It says the Ford Model T was named the most influential car of the 20th century and the 1999 Car of the Century competition, ahead of the BMC Mini and the Volkswagen Type 1. Ford's Model T was successful not only because it provided inexpensive transportation on a mass scale, but also because the car signified innovation for the rising middle class and became a powerful symbol for the United States' age of modernization. As with 16.5 million sold, it stood 8 on the top 10 list of most cars sold of all time as of 2012. So how about that? And it was on this day in history that she come out ready to go, and as the automobile, as just incredible, as was introduced in 1908, and they were mostly scarce, inexpensive, and often unreliable were cars until this one come up, positioned as reliable, easily maintained, mass-marketed transportation, as the Model T was a great success. In a matter of days after the release, 15,000 orders had been placed as the first model production Model T as was built, as the left the factory on September 24th, 1908 at the Ford Piquette Avenue plant in Detroit, Michigan. So pretty good stuff there with the Ford Model T. Moving on all the way up to 1941 on this day in history as we take a look. It was 1941 in September, mind you, that The Japanese consul in Hawaii is instructed to divide Pearl Harbor into 5 zones and calculate the number of battleships in each zone and report findings back to Japan, which was then used in the planning of the Pearl Harbor attacks, which we found out later as that was happening today in 1941. Of course, we know then as the attacks were brought to fruition there December 7th, 1941. Crazy. Moving on to 1958 and the idea of the automobile, the Ford Model T. Well, this one's kind of interesting. It was on this date, 1958. Well, the U.S. auto workers strike. The increased chance of auto strike by the United Auto Workers looks more likely against General Motors and Chrysler as the date for an all-out nationwide walkout. It's not scheduled till the next following week, but walkouts at local level are increasing on a daily basis, with 30,000 on strike at GM and 15,000 employees on strike at Chrysler back on this day, 1958. As we moved on to 1960, not the one you think of, but the USS Enterprise is the USS Enterprise CVN-65 becomes the world's first nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. This thing is this was awesome at the time, and the idea of the USS Enterprise. This was great here. As this powered aircraft carrier is, she's still part of the U.S. Navy, but she is scheduled to be conditioned. It was then 2014, as they mentioned now, formerly CVA-N65 is decommissioned. The United States Navy aircraft carrier. She was the first nuclear-powered aircraft carrier in the 8th United States naval vessel to bear the name, like her predecessor of the World War II fame. She is nicknamed Big E at 1,123 feet. She is the longest naval vessel ever built. Her 93,284 long ton, and the displacement ranks her as the 12th heaviest carrier after the 10 carriers of the Nimitz class and USS Gerald R. Ford Enterprise has a crew of some 4,600 service members. The only ship of her class, the Enterprise, was at the time of inactivation the third oldest commissioned vessel in the United States Navy after the wooden-hulled USS Constitution and USS Pueblo, as she was inactive on the 1st of December 2012 and officially decommissioned then on February 3rd, 2017. That means 55 years of service. She was stricken from the Naval Vessel Register that same day. The name was adopted by the future Gerald R. Ford class aircraft carrier USS Enterprise CVN-80. But it was on this day in history. She's still part, like we mentioned, of the U.S. Navy up to that point, with the expectations being decommissioned, and then it was decommissioned then in 2017. But the USS Enterprise, as design was and as the Enterprise was intended as the first of the class of 6 carriers, but a massive increase in construction costs led to renaming vessels being canceled because of the huge costs for construction. As the Enterprise was launched and commissioned without the planned missile launchers and all that. Initially, the carrier had little defensive armament. And then in late 1967, the Enterprise was fitted with a prototype basic point defense missile system, or the BPDMS installation, as 2 8-round box launchers for Sea Sparrow missiles. Pretty cool as that comes about. But cool stuff there, as it was on this day in history, the USS Enterprise. Pretty cool, nonetheless. Moving on to 1961. Oh, baby, 1961. This one's a fun one here. It was the last episode on this date in 1961 was the last episode of I Love Lucy is aired as created by and featuring Lucille Ball and her husband Des Arnaz, as it ran for 10 years. The I Love Lucy, as just an incredible show for the comedy at the time, as we bring it up to the American television sitcom. Originally aired on CBS from October 15th through and through, with a total of 180 half-hour episodes spanning many, many seasons. As we mentioned, it followed the life of Lucille Ball, a young middle-class housewife in New York City who either concocted plans with her best friends Ethel and Fred to appear alongside her bandleader husband Ricky Ricardo and his nightclub. But a lot of good stuff. As I Love Lucy became the most watched show in the United States in 4 of its 6 seasons, and was the first to end its run at the top of the Nielsen ratings, an accomplishment later matched only by the Andy Griffith Show and then later Seinfeld. And as of 2011, episodes of the show have been syndicated in dozens of languages across the world and remain popular. With an American audience of 40 million each, a colorized version of its Christmas episode attracted more than 8 million viewers when CBS aired it in prime time in 2013, 62 years after the show premiered. CBS has aired 2 to 3 colorized episodes each year since then, and once at Christmas and again in the spring. But it was on this day in history, the final episode of the I Love Lucy show. Moving on to 1964 on this date, Warren Commission report on the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Which occurred then in 1963, November 22nd in Dallas, Texas, given to President Lyndon B. Johnson here. Its conclusion was that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone and that the Secret Service had made poor preparations for JFK's visit to Dallas and had failed to sufficiently protect him as for years and years. And still, when we talk about so many generations having their own conspiracy theories and everything else, this is one that holds big. As the Warren Commission report come out in 1964 saying that he acted alone, but to the idea that everybody was still wondering if that was the case, as we know even made hugely popular with the movie of the Oliver Stone's JFK with Kevin Costner, to talk about maybe a second gunman on the grassy knoll, so to speak, as it was the Commission report that said he acted alone on this date, 1964. But then so many wonder if he really did. Incredible, though. And then moving on, 1968, 60 Minutes, the investigative television news magazine program 60 Minutes, is shown for the first time on CBS on this day in history. 60 Minutes still running today, as it was first shown 1968, the news magazine. In 1978, get this, it's more of the spread of the ATMs. More supermarkets are offering automatic teller machines in the supermarket, and consumers have the service from their bank, like the ability to avoid trips to the bank and be able to bank outside of normal banking hours, as it's becoming more and more popular back in 1978. In 1998, moving on, new $20 bills came out in 1998 on this date. The new $20 bills entered the circulation on this date in 1998 to deter counterfeiters. The new anti-counterfeiting measures include the use of color-shifting ink and a watermark. The bill is also redesigned with the picture of the White House, and this is changed to the north side view of a larger off-center portrait of President Jackson that was used on the front. So pretty cool there. And then lastly, which will be for our On This Day in History, as we've made it now towards the bottom of the 10 o'clock hour. One more left for you is in 2000 on this date, it was the U.S. Formula One Grand Prix returns to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, returning to the U.S. for the first time in 9 years it was, as the race attracted the largest Formula One crowd ever, 250,000 plus watching the race live. And that'll do it for On This Day in History. Stay tuned. More AM Ocala Live to round out our show. County Commission up next, as well as your national news. More coming your way back after this. WOCA Ocala.
News. I'm Chris Foster. President Trump asked if he commits to making sure there's a peaceful transfer of power after the election, says it depends on how votes against him are counted.
President Trump again attacking mail-in voting.
Get rid of the ballots and you'll have a very peaceful, there won't be a transfer, frankly. There'll be a continuation. The ballots are out of control.
Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden reacted by saying, "What country are we in?" adding, "I don't know what to say."
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. 6 months into coronavirus restrictions, more Americans are filing for unemployment.
We came in at 870,000 initial claims. This is for the week ending on September 19th. Since March, this takes us to about 61.9 million initial jobless claims. This is part of the reemployment story. Businesses have actually still been pressured because the reopening is really not complete.
Fox Business Network Cheryl Casoni. America's listening to Fox News.
Polls have Joe Biden ahead of President Trump. But did a poll ever ask your opinion? Now, Newsmax TV is asking Americans to vote in their national poll. Vote instantly for Trump or Biden. Just text the word virus to 39747 and vote. Make sure your voice is heard. Text virus to 39747 and watch Newsmax TV on all major cable systems. Check your guide. Plus, Zumo, YouTube, Pluto, Samsung, and more. So vote now for Trump or Biden. Text virus to 39747.
This is an important message for all current and former Boy Scouts.
The Boy Scouts of America has declared bankruptcy. If you were sexually abused in scouting, you could receive compensation, but you must file a claim by November 16, 2020.
You may file a sexual abuse claim regardless of your current age or the year the sexual abuse occurred.
Visit officialbsaclaims.com or call 1-866-907-2721. Paid for by the Boy Scouts of America.
Pals Ocala Auto Repair fixes all makes and models. Pals makes sure that your vehicle's engine, mechanical, and electrical components are healthy at all times. Pals team would much rather see you drive to their shop for a full checkup than be towed in for a complex repair. Give Pals a call today to schedule your next service appointment. 352-414-2984. What? A nationwide warranty, 36 months or 36,000 miles, whichever comes first? Pals looks forward to servicing you and servicing your vehicle. 352-414-2984.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
What you need to know about hatching peafowl eggs and brooding pea chicks. That's coming up on This Land of Ours.
This is my farm, and on it I'm raising corn. I'm raising soybeans, and sometimes wheat. I'm raising chickens, and a few horses. I'm raising catfish and crappies down at the pond. But above all that, before everything else, I'm raising my kids.
You're a parent first, farmer second. Do all you can to make your farm safe for children. Visit cultivatesafety.org for help protecting the most important thing you will ever raise.
Hey, I'm Rodeo Clown J.J. Harrison. Now, if you've ever seen me in the arena, you know I like to have fun and take chances. But I also take safety very seriously, because rodeo clowning can be dangerous, but so can farming or ranching. Never assume location of depth of underground utilities or pipelines. Before you start work, always call 811 or visit clickbeforeyoudig.com. It only takes a minute, and it can save your life.
Always call 811 or visit clickbeforeyoudig.com before you start work. A message from the Pipeline Operators for Ag Safety campaign.
You can buy peafowl eggs and hatch them yourself. If you decide to hatch your own peafowl eggs, normally the process will take up to 30 days. Pea chicks mature quickly as they hatch fully feathered. They can fly within a week. The one main difference between breeding peafowl and breeding birds of other species is in the timing of the breeding season. It usually starts in March and ends in August. You can buy peafowl from many online hatcheries. Usually you'll start in the spring or summer, particularly if you're raising them as chicks. They have a harder time surviving a harsh winter. Pea chicks can be purchased from breeders, hatcheries, farmers, and other places. The chicks are expensive, but tend to be good quality if you buy them from hatcheries or breeders. If you're looking for specific genetics, breeders might be the best place to look. No matter where you buy your peafowl, just make sure to get a healthy bird. Ask your hatchery or breeder questions, and make sure your bird has clean eyes, feathers, feet, and nostrils. I'm Kathy Isom, Southeast AgNet.
Finally, shipping made easy. Just Ship is your answer to your shipping aggravation. They come pick up your package and ship it for you. Birthday gifts, eBay sales, or an online return. Just Ship can handle all of them for you. Act now and you can save 20% on an annual subscription, which will take you through the 2020 holiday months. Go to www.justship.net now and take the aggravation out of shipping.
Keep up with what's going on in the downtown area with Ocala Downtown Newspaper. Delivering thousands of newspapers to businesses in the downtown area, Ocala Downtown is there to keep you informed. They even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about it. It's simple. For more info, just call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223, and pick up your copy of the Downtown Ocala newspaper today.
And now read Ocala Downtown Newspaper online.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line and a new spoiler and a new truck.
Yep, we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too.
Well, as a matter of fact, join me, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive, every Tuesday at 10 for auto repair with personal care right here on The Source.
People ask me why I've worked at Palm Garden for so long, and I tell them it's the people. I love to hear the life stories, especially those from the greatest generation. Celebrating life stories is what sets Palm Garden apart, finding out what's important to them. And I love being a resource. Like Macy's Santa, if I can't help, I'll send them to Gimbel's. After all, Palm Garden is located on 34th Street. I'm Jan from Palm Garden. Call me and let's chat. 854-6262.
Hello, gorgeous. Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. It's time to get that new look started. Let's get rid of those sun-damaged ends and faded out color and get into something rich and vibrant. Humidity is not your hair's friend. It causes your hair to capture moisture and leaves it looking dry and unhealthy. Hello Gorgeous is a certified Brazilian blowout salon. We can tame those locks, leaving your hair healthy and shiny with a Brazilian smoothing treatment. So let us help you make a great first impression. Call us today to set your appointment at Hello Gorgeous. Our number is 352-351-5358. Again, that's 352-351-5358. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too. 351-5358. Hello Gorgeous is conveniently located in the heart of downtown Ocala. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon at 351-5358. That's 351-5358. Hello Gorgeous.
Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first Wednesday of each month at 9:30 to Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you.
Say that this country is in the toilet. Some would even go so far as to say the economy is going down the drain. But we say, if water runs through it, we do it.
At Mike Scott Plumbing, we don't make promises we can't keep. We'll be there on time, every time. We promise to work around your schedule and not ours. And we won't charge you overtime for nights, weekends, or holidays. So remember, if water runs through it, we do it. Mike Scott Plumbing, 237-2888.
Hi, I'm Sean Scott, owner of Mike Scott Plumbing, and I approve this message.
Howdy, folks. RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char-grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
back to the show. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Rounding out our show here 20 minutes before the top of the 11 o'clock hour as we say good morning to you. Warming up just a little bit more, 75 degrees. Now there's a little bit more of a breeze blowing, but it's still absolutely beautiful out there. Enjoy it. Absolutely. I know when I'm done here, I know I will. Flying or golfing is one of the two things to do when the weather's this good, at least in Florida. That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. All right. And one last time for today, it is time for your Ocala Quick Minute News, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. As President Trump has campaign events tonight in Jacksonville and tomorrow in Miami, senior campaign advisor Steve Cortez says he'll get back to the critical I-4 corridor soon.
He will be in Central Florida. We know how important it is. It's his home state now, and he's going to be back in Florida. That I will promise you, and he will be in Central Florida.
An ABC News Washington Post poll released this week gives President Donald Trump a 4-point lead over Joe Biden among likely Florida voters. Other polls say the race in Florida is too close to call. Attorney General Ashley Moody is calling for the FBI and the FDLE to investigate Michael Bloomberg's multi-million-dollar effort to pay off fines and fees owed by felons so they can vote this November.
Under Florida law, you cannot directly or indirectly give anything of value to persuade or entice a vote.
As Moody appearing on Fox and Friends this morning, so far $16 million had been raised for the effort. A county in northwest Florida is shedding its mask law. Nassau County officials voted last night to end the mask mandate, effective at noon today. Officials encourage residents to still wear masks when social distancing isn't quite practical. It says hours ahead of the visit, supporters already lined up to get a glimpse of President Donald Trump as he's due in Jacksonville for the open-air rally tonight at Cecil Airport. The appearance isn't until 7 o'clock, but dozens of fans are already there at 5 o'clock this morning. A Trump spokesman for the President Trump campaign is explaining the president's refusal to commit a peaceful transition of power should he lose the election this November.
If there is cheating, if there is criminality, we are going to address that. We, meaning the campaign, the White House, the president. But, of course, he will accept valid results.
Steve Cortez says the new poll shows the president is winning Florida thanks to the rebounding economy. The search continues in Orlando for the gang members suspected in causing the death of a 3-year-old boy earlier this week. The child was shot at his home. Deputies believe a gang member targeted the member of the rival gang when shots were fired at home. Hillsborough County Sheriff Chad Chronister is imploring parents to talk to their kids about driver safety after an 18-year-old driver and a 15-year-old passenger were killed when the teen drove through a red light and was hit by a pickup truck. The driver of the pickup was not hurt. As Hurricane Sally is responsible for a mess in local waters that could take a while to clean up, it says oil sheens have been seen around the Pensacola Bay since last week's storm, and cleanup efforts are underway between the Coast Guard and the Department of Environmental Protection. Most of the leaks appear to be coming from damaged boats. For the second time in many days, one person is under arrest for shining a laser pointer at the Volusia Sheriff's helicopter Air One.
Is hitting us with a laser multiple times, is pulling us off of this call. We got eyes on somebody on the back porch by the pool who's been hitting us with a green laser.
The pilot was flying over Palm Coast where he directed deputies to the suspect identified as 60-year-old Gregory Marr, who charged with pointing a laser at a driver or pilot. On Tuesday, an Edgewater man was arrested on similar charges for flashing the beam from a boat on the intercoastal waterway. As Heat rookie Tyler Hero led the charge as they slipped past the Boston Celtics 112-109 in Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals in the NBA Orlando bubble. Hero finished as a Miami rookie playoff record 37 points.
It's just about making the right play, whether it's a shot or a pass to a teammate, whatever it is. And, every night's a different night. Tonight was my night to score. Next game, I'm sure it'll be different.
As the Miami Heat now up 3-1 in the series, and Miami is now one win away from advancing to the NBA Finals. for your Ocala Quick Minute News. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, 10:45, 15 minutes before the top of the 11 o'clock hour. Take a short little break, and we'll be back to round out our show with some good stuff. Back after this. WOCA Ocala.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
Great fall buys arriving every day at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. So if you've not been there lately, now's the time to head on over for some great deals on just what you want for the upcoming fall season. First up, it's veggies. Bob always has a great selection. Everything from arugula to zucchini. All the fall veggies in the jumbo 4-pack, just $3.99. And listen, ghost peppers just $6.99. And Bob has all the herbs you ever wanted, a huge selection, priced as low as $1.99. And then there's fruit plants and fruit trees. Papaya, just $9.99. Blueberry, only $5.99. Figs, just $29.99. Come see and save on the gigantic fruit selection at Bob Wines. And remember, every day you buy one tree at Bob's super low price, and you get a second one for half price. It's another big saving week at Bob Wines Camellia Garden, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, in the same blooming place since 1952.
We'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine today with a high of 88 to 90, then partly cloudy tonight, low 73 to 77. Friday will be mostly cloudy and humid with a thunderstorm in the afternoon. High tomorrow 87 to 90, then Saturday mostly cloudy and humid with a thunderstorm in parts of the area and a high of 87 to 91. Partly cloudy Sunday with a thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 87 to 91. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
The Centers and Marion County's Children's Alliance are holding a drive through Recovery Resource event at the Centers on September 26th from 10 to 1. Get recovery in a bag for Recovery Month. Need to get in shape? Listen on Friday the 25th at 9:05 a.m. when Joyce Nieves, owner of 12 Rounds Boxing Gym, will be Adam's guest. You'll hear how to change yourself and get into the best shape of your life. 12 Rounds Boxing is located at 20 West Silver Springs Boulevard in Ocala and open 10 to 10 all week. You are invited to come out and check out 12 Rounds Boxing. Listen, if you ain't right, they'll get you right. Again, that's Friday the 25th at 9:05 on WOCA, The Source.
WOCA.
Ocala. September 25th at 8:35 a.m. Adam's guest will be Leanne Watts, Doctor of Audiology with Beneficial Hearing. Dr. Watts will explain the latest in hearing audiology and the options that are available. She takes the time to understand your lifestyle so she can give you the proper recommendation. So be sure to tune in on Friday, September 25th at 8:35 a.m. It's hearing news from Beneficial Hearing, Dr. Watts, and your friends at WOCA The Source.
High school football is back on WOCA The Source. This season we will be following the Westport Wolfpack as they take on the rest of Marion County. Our first game of the season is this Friday night as the Wolfpack travel to Bellevue to take on the Rattlers. Pre-game starts at 6:30 and kickoff is at 7. So join me, Galen Unold, as we follow all the action right here on WOCA The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, and on YouTube at WOCA The Source Radio.
You're getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros. Trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
2 Men in a Truck.
On September 29th at 10:30 a.m., I will have guests from the College of Central Florida telling our listeners that the College of Central Florida is offering scholarships for short-term, in-demand programs intended to address the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. You may qualify to attend with no tuition cost. Again, that's the 29th at 10:30 a.m. Education news from the College of Central Florida and your friends at WOCA, The Source.
I'm back. That's right, Tom Schmidt's back on WOCA with a show called Ocala Talks. We'll talk about everything Ocala and surrounding areas, plus a little bit of sports as well. Every weekday, Monday through Thursday, 11 to 12, Tom Schmidt's with Ocala Talks, right here on WOCA, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Check out Tom starting October 1st. That's Thursday.
When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
We'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine today with a high of 88 to 90, then partly cloudy tonight, low 73 to 77. Friday will be mostly cloudy and humid with a thunderstorm in the afternoon. High tomorrow 87 to 90, then Saturday mostly cloudy and humid with a thunderstorm in parts of the area and a high of 87 to 91. Partly cloudy Sunday with a thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 87 to 91. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
Roadrunners details your vehicle. He comes to you. 704-728-7537. 704-728-7537. A job done right. 704-728-7537.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
AM Ocala Live. I'm your host, Anna Mikulin, as we say good morning to you. Rounding out our show now, 7 minutes before the top of the 11 o'clock hour, winding down for this Thursday show, telling you to stay tuned for tomorrow, Friday, as we round out the week. Should be a good show for tomorrow. We got a lot of good guests on, and of course, tomorrow as well, we say stay tuned for the Conservative Launch Hour after our shows on Friday with your host, Annie Marie Delgado, president of Trump Team 2020, and her co-host, Ann Vandersteel, as they bring you some good guests and keep that conversation rolling this election season as we get closer and closer to the expectations of the election there in that Super Tuesday there in November. And I know with the talks of tomorrow is leading into the next week's presidential debate with President Donald Trump and Joe Biden, and I'm sure they'll be talking a little bit about that and all that stuff there nonetheless as that rolls on through. As we're coming up now, like we said, coming up on 5 minutes before the top of the 11 o'clock hour. A lot of good stuff to leave you with here, as it's always cool to bring some of these in for the last part of the show, just to keep everything light, you know, since it's hard to have a conversation by yourself, as I'm the only one in here. But leave you with something good, as this one was interesting here. This is a new survey when it comes to drivers. Whether it be drivers for the living, for delivery drivers, or even just those on the road for a road trip. It says any driver in particular. There's a new survey of drivers was released that the best foods that they assume to eat while driving comes back to a list like this, and see if you fall under this in the idea. It says preferred candy bars is the number one thing that drivers of a survey have revealed to be the best foods while eating is candy bars, followed by French fries, potato chips, and then lastly, chicken nuggets. Well, of course, chicken nuggets are real easy to eat. Whenever I get to the fast food chain and then I order the burger or whatever, and it's through the drive-thru, I always end up eating the nuggets on the way home anyway. But that one's a little interesting. As in the mention of chicken nuggets, as a news attack says, a study finds that Americans have barely improved their eating habits to the idea that basically they're just saying that we continue to eat unhealthy. And it's like, well, whatever. That's an easy study. That was just filler, so to speak. This one's interesting here. It says bad butter, the first of college protest. It was 254 years ago this week, a little bit on this day in history kind of thing, is September 23rd, 1766, that the first college campus protest occurred when there was just 7 colleges in colonial America. The students at the first college, Harvard, were unhappy with on-campus dining, specifically the rancid butter. The so-called butter rebellion began with the cry, "Behold, our butter stinketh," as about half of the student body supported the complaint, and they took to the dining in nearby taverns, and the administration soon yielded and replaced the offending spread of butter. So how about that? As looking at the power of the people and thinking about the youth in college protest, it's the idea of bad butter 254 years ago. I wonder where they got that. Is that actually written somewhere? Is that in the history of library at Harvard? Is that one of those things? Anyway, one more to leave you with here is is it okay to skip the tip jar? It says, do you feel guilted into tossing change into a tip jar at the counter where you buy coffee or sandwich? If so, well, you're not alone. The fact is that many have taken to calling the tip jar a guilt jar. It's Michael Lynn, a professor at Cornell University and an expert on tipping. Let me just hold the phone there. How do you become an expert on tipping? He's published many studies on the topic. Oh, okay. Worked his way through college by waiting tables, so he's got experience. Lynn says he always tips waiters and waitresses extremely well, but when asked about tip jars, he states bluntly that he doesn't like them. And why? Because in addition to earning at least minimum wage cashiers and baristas, those who create coffee concoctions are providing fairly standardized services, while waiters and waitresses provide services that are fleeting, intangible, and highly customized. In other words, what a waiter must do to provide service for one diner often varies widely from what he or she must do for the diners. So that shows you a little something there. That's a little different. So don't feel too guilty about the little glass jar to tip in. And it makes me think of that good old Jerry Seinfeld episode. If they don't see you put the dollar in the glass tip jar, did they even know that you tipped, and it is even worth it? Well, I guess so, because there's the dollar there. But he was always to the idea that he wanted to have them see him put the dollar in. But just incredible nonetheless, and crazy. As we made our way to the end of AM Ocala Live here for this Thursday, like I said, don't be scared to skip on the tip jar. They say, just do what you want to do there. Be sure and tip. Be sure and tip your wait staff. Especially now more than ever after everything going on this year. Anyway, that'll do it for this Thursday AM Ocala Live. Thank goodness, because I'm running on empty. Special thanks to Galen, to Tish, to Joe, and to Dan, and to Hank and Gary for Veterans News here for this Thursday. So we got a good show for you lined up for tomorrow, as mentioned, and it'll be a good one. But until tomorrow, everybody, as we do say, goodbye.
And I just couldn't get it together, and I pick it up every day. And